Let's talk about Drona. Without getting too deep into etymology, Drona means a pot or one who's conceived in a pot. His father is Bharadwaja, and therefore he is also often referred to as Bharadwaja. Bharadwaj Muni was also his teacher, and in his ashrama, Drona was great friends with Drupada. Now, Drona and Drupada have spent years in Bharadwaja Muni's ashrama or gurukula and learned everything that they are supposed to learn. And in this time, they have become great friends. In time, when the education is complete, or Snatakottara as it is called, Drupada goes back to his kingdom and starts ruling as the king. Before he leaves though, he says, everything that belongs to me, half of that is yours, Drona. Come whenever you want and claim this. Drona goes on his way. As a Brahmana, he is learning to live a frugal life. At one point, he decides it's time to visit his friend Drupada and call in the offer that he has been made. And when he reaches Drupada's kingdom and is escorted into the courts, he is in tatters. He has walked a long way, looks like a beggar, and Drupada almost refuses to recognize him. And when he does recognize him, he laughs when Drona says, "You promised half of your kingdom to me." He said, "Those were childhood promises. Are you still keeping stock of that?" Drupada also said, for good measure, that friendship can only be in equals. Now leave. Filled with anger, driven by hatred and craving vengeance, Drona goes and meets Parashurama. Parashurama is this avatar of Vishnu, but he is also known as someone who will only teach Brahmanas on how to become warriors. Under his tutelage, Drona learns everything, and one day, as he is walking in a forest, he chances upon something that his whole life changed from that point. A bunch of boys were playing with a ball, and that ball accidentally fell into a well. They tried their best but could not get the ball out. Drona, when he saw this, took his bow out, found some reed sticks, and hit the ball in the well with that reed stick. And upon that reed stick, he hit another and another and another until it reached the edge of the well where they were standing and slowly pulled the ball out. The kids were so happy, they went and informed Pitamaha Bhishma and said, "We have found someone who was able to do this." And then Bhishma decided that this is the kind of teacher we need for these princes. Immediately, Drona gets the job of becoming the teacher or acharya, and from that day onwards, he will be known as Dronacharya. His desire for vengeance is still in him. It will change the very course of history, but that's a story for another day. Remember how Kripacharya used to be the teacher? Yeah, so Drona essentially replaced Kripacharya as the teacher of arts, and Kripa took on the role of the priest. Dronacharya is actually married to the sister of Kripacharya, known as Kripi. And Drona and Kripi have a child called as Ashwathama. This Ashwathama is another legendary character about whom we'll learn in detail. Right now, all we need to know is that Ashwathama is this wonderful child who has got a precious stone embedded into his forehead, and that is how he is famous.